if I
Yeah, love
may,
that.
just because you were talking about sort of like a mindset thing and not necessarily be wanting to be seen as a making a sales call. I think one thing that I picked up reading a book called Problem Prospecting by Stuart Taylor and Richard Smith is even though by nature we are sales professionals, you are also a finance professional. So by seeing yourself at the same level as the people you're selling into, I think that can also help bring their guard down. So it's just saying from one finance professional to another, can I just run something by you for like 35 seconds or whatever? And then most of the time, like people are saying, they'll say yes, and then you can lead with the problems instead.
Solid, Rajan. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Love that. Mohammed, have you got some tips?
Yeah, it might be a bit more long-winded than the initial cold call, but if you have any information or maybe you've spoken to someone within their team already, mention that within the first few seconds of the call. You just be like, hey, it's Abdurrahman calling from Verto. I've been speaking to XYZ about such and such problem. Do you mind if I run by what I've learned? That would usually be like, okay, at least he's got some authority. He's spoken to someone in my team, and he's not actually interrupting my day. He's coming with something he's observed, and maybe he can help.
I love that, Mohammed, because like it brings relevance because it's like a pattern interrupt as well. Because you've gone and done some homework. So let's just imagine, Rajan, you were the other person in the company. I said, I'm calling from this place. You've given me some information. And then I may say, is Abdul Rahman, I've been looking at LinkedIn. Is he the right person to speak to? And you may say, yeah, he is. He's part of the team. I said, okay, cool. I'll have a chat with him. If I hear anything, I'll come back to you. So that now is multi-threading and creating a loop. But then Abdul Rahman, like Mohammed said, if I called you, I said, I've just been speaking to Rajan. He's hit me with some information and I work for this company. Do you mind if I run it by you as to what I've learnt? Right. And putting it as a learn is now opening up the floor for you to bounce it off them, get their perspective, open a conversation rather than do you want to learn about this and have a demo with us? I love that, Mohammed. That's a really good point. I love that.
Yeah, you always have to position yourself as like you're always willing to learn because you don't want to dictate to people what they need to do. You're not there to, change their lives or anything like that. You're there to genuinely help. So if you go about and you actually do a bit of homework, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this guy's a bit serious. He's learned something about my company. He learned about a bit about what he does and how he can help." And if you position it like that, it's gonna be sweet as a nut.
Boom. Awesome. Abdurrahman, did you get the answers you're looking for, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. That's really helpful. I've been in kind of like a trial and error phase right now. So I'm trying things. And I guess like with the advice that Kirsten was talking about leading with pain, I've tried that. It's been somewhat successful so far. But I realized like because I'm actually really curious about the people I want to speak to, sometimes I just cut straight to the point and I end up going into pitch mode without even realizing.
Hmm.
And that's where I fail because they have their guard up and they're like, sorry, not interested, phone goes off. So actually hearing this from people that have been in the field for quite some time is great for me. It kind of solidifies like, oh, that's the lane I should go down and kind of cut out the other stuff. So really appreciative from all of you with all the advice. I'm going to be taking that on.
Love that, dude. Can we give him a round of applause, man? Because he's trying 2 weeks in cold calling. We know that stuff is scary. But Abdurrahman, I just want to add in my 2 cents just off the back of what you've said, right? Where you're trying all these different things and it's a lot of trial and error. And you've found that going into pitch mode is blocking the conversation. So none of this is failure. And I think the way that you want to see it as if you had 100 calls to make this week, you have 100 experiments to do to figure out what's going to be working for you. The fact that you're self aware and able to realize actually, when I cut to the point and I go into pitch mode, it's putting people off. Some reps do that without even knowing that they're causing a problem, but you're cognizant of it. So you know there's something you can correct in your course. And another bit is if you had like 30 cold calls to do today, I would split them into 3 sets of 10 like a gym, right? So the first set are going to be the crappy leads you can make mistakes on, and it doesn't matter if it bombs. Take a minute break. Then going for your next 10, you hit with a couple of objections, you try your pitch this way, or you ask that open ended question, take another minute break. But within that minute break, ask yourself, what could I do different on the next 10? And then you go in for the last 10 when you're fully versed, fully ramped, and you're feeling more confident. But if you did that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, by the end of the week, you're going to figure out your flow and what's working and not working. So don't see it as failure. Just see these as the test runs. That's going to get you away. Like in 2 weeks' time, bro, you're going to advance so much more compared to where you are today.